Okay, so you can go to this site right up here on this calculator.net. You probably have this on your scientific calculator or even on your phone. So for that one function, y equals 47.399 times e to the 0.6737 times x. I'm just going to solve it without putting the x in. You can do that separately. So I clicked use e as the base, and I'm putting in 0.6737 and calculate it, and I get 1.961, etc., etc. Now, as you put the values for x in, you want to multiply the x by 0.6736 before you put it in the exponent. So our cumulative cases are 49. I'll be putting that, our weak numbers. We'll be putting the weak numbers in. Those are the x's, right? So I'll be doing 1 times 0.6737 and putting that into the calculator. Then let's see, I can find my calculator. 2 times 0.6737. I'm going to copy that. Let's see if I can do that. No, I can't. 1.3474. And I'll go back to that calculator and put that in here, 1.3474. And I calculate for that at week 2, and the number is 3.847. Don't forget to multiply that by the 47.399. I'll also show you how to do this in Excel. Opened Excel in our SharePoint site. And what I've done is I've put the weeks in this first column, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I've put the cumulative cases in here as 49, 240, 609, 940, and 1273. And I'd like to see which equation, the ones that are given on this page here, I'm sorry, the next page, on this page here matches the actual data. So we're just using, we are just using, on my Excel sheet, the linear, the quadratic, and the exponential. So over here, we're using the linear, the quadratic, and the exponential. Okay, so if I go back to Excel here, what I've done is I've put the linear equation in 258.74, which is right here, 258.74, and then it's times x, the week number. So times A2, which is 1. These I can autofill. What I do is I grab this little marker here and pull it down, and so it gives me the same numbers, but let's just say I cleared these out. All right, now I have this equation in here, so what it'll do is it will multiply this by each time by a cell that is 2 to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and I get those numbers. All right, for the quadratic, I typed in the equation as it's given here, which is 31.57x squared plus 134.93x minus 122. Okay, so back to my Excel book. If I look at the equation up here, I say 31.357 times x squared. So the way you do that is you reference the week, and that little caret up gives it the squared. Then it's 134.93 times the week number minus 122. Okay, and I get the result in this cell right here, 44.287. All right, and I'm going to just take these out. But once that equation's in there, I just grab this little corner here and copy it down, and voila. So now I have my y values that I can plot against my x values for week 1 through 5. Okay, here's the exponential. In a moment, here's the exponential. So it's 47.399 times e to the 0.6737 times the week number. Okay, so this is the exponent on the exponential function. So once again, that gives me the value of y, solving for it from this equation, number 5. I'll go back here. I'm just going to take all of these out, and now I can copy those in. So for each week, I have the resulting predicted value if I use an exponential equation, the predicted value if I use a quadratic, if I use a linear. These are just for weeks 1 through 5. Then you can do the same for weeks 6 through 10, I believe is the next part, and then 10 through 20. And then you can either hand graph these, or you can do this in Excel by choosing a chart, and sometimes it comes up in here and sometimes it doesn't. So I'm going to go to data, and so I can go to insert chart, or go to insert, and then it gives me some recommended charts over here that I can look at with cumulative cases. But really what you want to do is you want to do something linear like this. So I can put that in there, and it's going to have the right scale on there for me. And then I can see that right here. So it gives me the week and the cumulative cases. I can do the same for, oops, I don't want to change that. You can do the same for the for the equations, for the predictive equations. The best way to do it is to put them all on one graph in different colors. You can do that by hand or on Excel, and that will give you a comparison to see which matches up best. And then you want to extend it to the different weeks. I will leave the artistic portion of drawing these graphs up to you. You probably want to get rid of all but 2 decimal points, maybe even go to 0 decimal points, because what we're measuring it against has no decimal points. So I would round, and that's easy enough to do. We can just select all this, and I'm going to go to the home button, and I'm going to click here to get rid of the decimal points. Just a finer little point here in this. So I hope this helps. I'm going to actually post this on the Moodle page as well.